Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We're going to start with this report talking about Franck Kessie as Barca want to offload the 25 million euro rated star on a permanent deal by all means. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about out of favor right back Julian Araujo as Barca defender is seriously considering offer from newly promoted La Liga club. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please, if you haven't subscribed, endeavor to hit the subscribe button. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. There has been a lot of noise surrounding the future of Franck Kessie lately. The midfielder has become a subject of interest for many clubs across Europe, including Juventus. The Bianconeri are reportedly interested in signing the former AC Milan star on a loan deal, with an option to buy him permanently next year for just 15 million euros. However, it appears Barca might not be completely on board with the deal. According to Tony Juan Marti, the Catalans want to sell Franck Kessie on a permanent deal this summer and are not on board with the idea of loaning him out. Even if Juventus had a permanent purchase clause on that loan deal, Barca would prefer an immediate sale. The club, after all, are facing a dire economic situation and desperately require fresh infusion of cash. Franck Kessie's sale to that end could not only help them bring in the funds, but also reduce the salary mass. This would ultimately enable them to sign more players this summer and perhaps even register players like Oriol Romeo, who looks set to join Barcelona imminently. But with Barca unwilling to offload Franck Kessie, whose market value stands at 25 million euros on a loan deal, the player is all set to embark on the pre-season US trip with the rest of the squad. The midfielder, for his part, continues to favor a move to Premier League, even though he is open to a return to Italy. Juventus, to that end, have shown concrete interest in the Ivorian, but they must come up with a permanent offer if they are to sign the player this summer. They certainly have the backing of head coach Massimiliano Allegri, who is a huge fan of the ex-Milan star. Of course, we have been getting a lot of rumors, a lot of twists and turns concerning Franck Kessie's future. And of course, Juventus showing the strongest of interest currently. And the idea is for a loan move for the player and with an option to buy next season. But Barca, according to this new report, are not of that idea. Barcelona prefer a permanent purchase immediately. They prefer a permanent purchase, not a loan. And of course, if that's the case and Juventus are only insisting on that, then the move to Juve is bound to collapse. Of course, the player currently will be is with the rest of the squad for pre-season training, as his future looks still uncertain. Franck Kessie have been linked with a lot of clubs. I think he's the most exit-linked Barca player who have been linked with most clubs, but has failed to take any of those clubs because, from what I'm seeing, he's a very selective player and he doesn't just want to go to any club because he wants to leave Barca. He wants to take his time. We see Franck Kessie taking his time to make a decision. For how many weeks now we have been talking about the player's uncertain future, and his indecision has led Barcelona frustrated because the club are desperately willing to sign more players and register them as well. But the fact that certain players are still delaying their departures is really killing the transfer spirit. Of course, Franck Kessie is a player that, according to reports, he have understood the situation of Barca. Xavi have already explained things to him, and the player is already certain that if he stays at Barca, next season is going to look more frustrated than this season because game time won't be available, especially as Ilkay Gundogan have arrived. A new DM, Oriol Romeo, has also arrived, and Xavi wants to add another attacking midfielder to the ranks, which will make it more difficult to even have game time for players like Franck Kessie. So the best case scenario that the player also knows very well is for a permanent move away from the club where he can continue his development and experience. And of course, as it stands right now, Barca still not able to sell any single soul. Hopefully they do. Franck Kessie's future remains a big topic of discussion all these days, as where will he play his football next season remains to be seen. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, according to journalist Ashraf Benayad, Barca youngster Araujo is seriously considering the offer to join Las Palmas, who were promoted to La Liga this season. Reports last week suggested that Las Palmas were gunning for the 21-year-old on a loan move for the upcoming season, and it was indicated that a deal might be close to completion. However, follow-up reports then claimed that it was not the case and that Araujo was being keen on proving himself to Barca manager Xavi Hernandez during the preseason and staying at the club. But Ashraf Ben Ayad is now reporting that Araujo might have had a change of heart as his game time is likely to be limited in the upcoming season. As things stand, Barca have Jules Koundé, Sergio Roberto, Sergio Des as options at right back, apart from the Mexican international. However, it must be noted that Des could be offloaded if an offer comes along. Even then, the La Liga champions are looking to bring new right back with João Cancelo, Pablo Maffeo, and Ivan Fresneda all being possible targets. As such, if Araujo stays at the club, the 21-year-old is likely to be way down the pecking order given zero experience that he has in European football. So as a loan move away would be the best course of action for the young right back. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.